Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. You know how we do it on Fridays. We try as much as possible to go really down to earth and help you start your weekend on a delightful note. That we intend to do again on the program today. And before we went on that break, we did say, what makes a celebrity a celebrity? What is it about a celeb? Let me just drop celebrity. There's a celeb, like they say. What makes a celeb, popular, and what are some of those things that, the fact that I'm a celeb does not necessarily mean all of certain things about me must be in the open. Or is it a Nigerian thing that we now demand too much from our celebs? Or is this also about the social media age where a lot of people just assume that once you are a celeb, then the fans are automatically part of your life and they must know everything that happens to you, or as an individual or a celeb, must you make a demarcation as to who you are, what you do, and what about you should not be out there. Hopefully on the conversation today we'll be able to find answers to all these questions. Our guest today is a friend of their house. Maybe she's a celeb herself. Of course, she's a media girl. So I think media people are also part of media people are also celebs. And yes, today we have Tomisin Adebukola in the studio. She's a social affairs commentator. Thank you, Tomisin, for being here on the program.
Thank
today.
you again for having me.
Right.
It's a pleasure looking at you guys. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
I admire the makeup, and I'm asking myself, when was the last time you wore it?
Well, certain things you have to do for the camera.
Yes.
Part of the job.
Part of the job. Yeah.
Part of
Right.
the job.
So again, so some people will ask, who exactly is a celeb? I mean, so because again, sometimes you never know who a celeb is, and so everybody just assumes that as long as you are in front of a camera, as long as you do anything out there, even if it is radio, then you have acquired a celeb status. So, but in your own opinion, if you were to box it into a corner, whom would you say is a celebrity?
All right, thank you again for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Good morning, Lagos and Nigeria. Who is a celeb? By the interpretation of people, a celebrity is anybody that is popular by whatever means. Whether you're a good person, whether you dance naked on television, on radio, on social media, as long as you are popular and people know you for it, celeb.
Then you're a celeb. So
But by normal standard, who should be a celebrity? It should be somebody who is impacting lives positively in the society. It should be anybody. It shouldn't just be restricted to people in front of the television. You'd agree with me that late Madam Stella, who died while treating people with Ebola, is a celebrity. You know, that's a celebrity.
Right.
I mean, a real life celebrity. Somebody
I
who
think
could
people
lay
just
down their
have
lives.
it at the back of their minds that celebrities are just those in entertainment, those who are, generally just in the socials.
I think
and
it's
not,
because we're vain.
so and not
I think
necessarily.
it's vain.
Yeah. So again, now because you've pointed out the facts that yes, late Stella Adebukola, which should be, of course, seen as a celebrity because she died saving the lives of others.
Absolutely.
But I think the perspective of a larger people would be the fact that celebrities are confined to those who are
to
in the
entertainment.
entertainment sector, or who, again, just are into glamorous stuff. So it can be any part of entertainment. It can be fashion. But then it has to be linked to
something in that
and not
space.
necessarily
Anybody impacting, which is why I said
yeah.
the interpretation of the people versus the interpretation for me as a person. Who would I regard as celebrity? That's the person I would regard.
Okay.
But people are very vain.
Yeah.
Let's be very sincere. Which is why people feel entitled to other people's lives. And it didn't begin with us. The story of how Queen Diana died should teach us a lesson. Far back then, after all, she was in the royal family. And paparazzi were always around her.
Yeah.
Always on our case. They did the same thing to Michael Jackson. A lot of people. So people just like to pick on other people. You're out there, you're doing your own thing. in whatever field. So you're doing your own thing, but people just like to pick up on you. Oh, she's popular. Then they begin to look for things that will be negative
About you.
But it's quite different now. The same celebrities themselves, the acceptable celebrities by societal standard, themselves now intentionally do controversial stuff. Just to stay relevant, just to get the numbers. It's not about people seeing them as celebrities. It's about social media approval. It's about acceptability in the social space. It's about people saying, oh, how many followers do you have? After, people are turning followers on social media as currency. Yes, it's currency in terms of the fact that they're making money from it. And they're willing to do anything, absolutely anything, just to make sure they get the numbers, create a controversy, make a mockery of themselves, make a mockery of other people, you know, just button, just to make sure that you're on the negative side of the news. Because again, bad news
Sells.
Bad news is good news. Okay, Joy.
So you've talked about, because I was going to ask you the effect of social media, but you've touched about it. And then again, you said because we are vain and we have twisted what should be. And so where is the place of character? Where is the place of modesty in today's world when we look at celebrity life?
Okay, so a private joke that we had while the AMC was going on, and I appreciated the art, you know, that was displayed by a lot of the designers and all that. And at some point, somebody was asking me a question because of one particular person's outfit. Someone close to me just said, "What is wrong with you people?" I said, "You people." He said, "Hey, you two are in front of the camera. You people now. It's you people now. Like, you people. I won't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow and say you want to go and do, you know,
and be like that.
You know, and be like that." And I'm like, is that because of the approval rating? You guys just want approval at all costs, irrespective of how the society would perceive it, irrespective of how many lives would go down the drain simply because you have chosen to go in that direction. And that's where the issue of character comes in. People say that, oh, I am a good person. Forget what I do.
How?
How do we separate that from
you know, how do we separate what you do on a daily basis, what you show us that you do on a daily basis, from who you are? Because who you are should actually reflect in what you do and how you do the things that you do. But a lot of people like to lie to themselves, thereby derail other people, especially the younger generation, who look at these people as role models. And then what's the role model about right now? Everybody just wants to follow the bandwagon. Okay, so they are doing booties and, you know, all kinds of stuff to their bodies. And every young person, 18 and above, are also going under the knife just to look like that.
Some even losing their lives.
And then you hear, it's mommy body. I'm getting rid of the mommy body. I don't have a problem with you getting rid of the mommy. But please, can you keep it to yourself? Can you keep it off the pages of social media? Can you not post about it? So that the next person, that innocent young girl, who possibly doesn't have a good role model at all, and is just looking out, because see, people yearn for somebody to follow. And it's the same for all of us. While we were in school, we had one lecturer that we admired so much. We had one person in our field that we admired so much, that we wanted to pattern our lives, our career after. That is what they do now. They don't pattern after career, they pattern after lifestyle. Oh, this person lives like this, so they want to live the big girl lifestyle. Somebody said, oh, don't worry, they go to school, but they all end up on the streets. That was a conversation again last week in my office. A person said, oh, I'm going to go do an investigative journalism work because I see a lot of big girls. They have regular white-collar jobs, but there's a corner on the island where they do the street stuff. So when they display this ostentatious lifestyle, living larger than every other person, these young people, these innocent young people, who think that money is supposed to be easy to get, not to work hard to get it, now begin to say, what do you do? And then they follow this auntie for this party, and they see the way this auntie is behaving. They say, oh, is this booty, you know, that she has, that everybody is. So they all want to.
Right. So we're teaching them the wrong way. And then, so again, part of what, you know, this topic is about is authenticity. And so when you're being authentic as a celebrity, there's also that thing, like, because you've also said here, that a lot of people do certain things for validation. A lot of people do this for the numbers, you know, just again, to be seen or labeled as happening, and you just want to be part of those
the
to
band
be reckoned with. And so can you really be authentic? Can you be yourself despite the fact that you're a celeb, where a lot of people also look up to you and think that, oh, if you're not wearing those kind of costume, or those, if you're not dressing a certain way, can you still be considered as being a celeb in your own way?
Okay, so let's do a critical example. Very, very easy to get. I'm sure you have IT students, you have interns around you. Have you ever seen any of them walk up to you to say, sorry, man, I'd just like to be like you?
Some?
What's the ratio?
The ratio is low. Quite.
Say 1 out of 10? Or 2 out
Maybe
of
2, 3?
Maybe 2, 3 out of 10. Now imagine how many young people are in that space. So you have a minimum of maybe 20, 25. And out of that 20, only about 3, 4, 5 come to you to say, I want to be like you. What do you think the others want to be like?
The other role models.
Our sisters. Our sisters who are teaching them the bad stuff, which they do not see as the bad stuff. So you are being authentic. You are being yourself. You're impacting lives. You're doing your job. You're impacting generations, but they don't see it. They don't see that you're being authentic. What they see is that you're not doing enough to be out there.
Yeah.
What they see is that you're not willing to pay the price. You're not willing to do much of what needs to be done to just be accepted by the people. And that's where the problem is. You see, this idea of validation and acceptability is one of the reasons why Yorubas will say Agbalagba okinche langba langba. Is one of the reasons why Agbalagba in recent years begins to do langba langba. Agbalagbas now misbehave. Well-cultured people now behave in an uncouth manner simply because they also want some measure of acceptability and validation. So can you really be authentic? Yes, absolutely. You can be authentic. You can stand your ground. You can be who you are. You can do what you can do. You can display the values that we grew up with. We find ourselves not being able to do certain things because we were trained, brought up, cultured, not to do those things.
But some people were brought up.
But some people were brought up
like that,
doing those things. Some people were brought up to be the opposite of who you are right now. I see them. I know them. We mix with them in society. So I don't blame them. But what I usually would accept over time is that you should also re-bring yourself up. There's a relearning process that comes to this culturing thing. There's something your parents taught you as a woman. Or anything your husband says. If your husband says don't go to work, don't work again, just don't go. Sit at home. Why did you stop? Why did you go to your husband to negotiate that and say, no, I went to school. I have to work. So you know the right thing. So if he says, oh, no, this is what you must be doing, and you can negotiate, it means that if society, or even if your parents are taught you to be loose by intentionally pushing you in a certain direction, you can rethink
and then
you can rethink and retrace yourself and reposition your life to do better. But see, it's easy money. It's easy popularity. It's easy everything. Hard work, success, impacting lives, it takes work. People are not willing to put in the work. It takes hard work. It takes time. People don't like to spend time. It's get money quick, get popular quick, get impact quick. And is that impact really impact? So you can be authentic, but you have to be disciplined.
Okay, now let's still talking about being authentic. We have fame, being authentic, and validation. It's okay to want to be famous. It's okay to want to be known. But at what point, where do you draw the line and ensure that you're being famous, you remain authentic, and you're willing to do the right thing regardless of whether people give you their validation or not?
To be very sincere, the brands are also not helping. To be very sincere,
They're also pressurizing. Okay.
to be very sincere, it's not just the society, it's the advertisers. It's the brands who would pay. So, have you ever wondered why they would put all of this money, hundreds of millions, in Big Brother Niger, but they would not put it on the conversation? Have you ever wondered? Do you think it's because you don't have the numbers? Or simply because what you do is not important enough? Vanity is money. Vanity brings funds, which is why no organization would organize a competition for young people and say, debate in those days, and say, come do a debate. We'll give you a scholarship to a master's level in an Ivy League school abroad. No, they'll give that person 5 billion after graduating with first class. And then somebody will shake bomb on television for a couple of days and give the person 150 million. And you tell the people to actually not embrace fame and vanity over authenticity. So, see, there's something fundamentally wrong with us. We reward the wrong things.
Right.
And because our reward is directed in the wrong direction,
Right.
whether you like it or not, the society will continue to, the depravity will continue to increase. The values will continue to go down, and vanity will continue to take, the foremost
Center stage.
position
Right.
in conversations, in homes, which is why we must bring up our children, not just by telling, but by showing. Show them how to live, what they should do, by the way you live, and by the way you carry yourself, by the way you present yourself, by the way you show them. Be intentional about helping your children cultivate mentorship with the right people. Every child that doesn't have a mentor, there are children who didn't grow up with parents, but they turned out well. They are millennials. Gen Z, they will not turn out well. You can take that to the bank. If a Gen Z does not have a good mentor and does not have parents, trust me, that person will end up on the streets. Out of every 10, 9 will end up on the streets. Now, they will likely become famous, likely become celebs, likely become successful financially. Will the finance last? Will the money last? That's a conversation for another
the
day.
morality.
The morality will go? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But they will become popular and people will sing about them, which would further make them, it will give them validation in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So people are talking about you. Why then should you change? People are saying you're doing well by the measures of the society, by the measures of the standard. The standard is so low. Do you get? The standard is so low. As a young person, the standard was so high. But right now we look at it, it's as if there's no standard at all.
Anymore. So, I mean, from the picture you've painted this morning, it feels like the society itself is a pressure, because the society itself also dictates sometimes how the celebs reacts to situations. And so if we're talking about being authentic here, and also looking at how people can be themselves, even in the midst of all that is happening, would you say that celebrities are also vulnerable, and they have, a moment where they also can just lose everything and just want to cry out to show that, I'm human and I face what you're facing? So at that point, as a celebrity, how far should you go? Let me put it that way. Because we've heard from so many people, and sometimes we think, oh, did you actually have to spill all of those? Did you have to get to that level?
Do you think we need to know?
Right. Couldn't you have just said a few things and then let the other stuff be with you? So how do celebrities handle their own personal situation, even though yes, you feel your fans should hear from you? Because a lot of people have also said, oh, it's not coming from the celeb, so I'm not going to believe. But then they think, okay, let it come from me.
So that people will
believe. But as it's coming from you, how far should you go in either disparaging others to give yourself a good landing space or to protect yourself?
Okay, so I'll give you 2 examples. and I'll mention the first person's name. Iniedo, when a movie wasn't doing so well, and I think it was Khan, something that wrote something about it, she came out to talk about herself and her upbringing, to explain why she did a movie like that, and named the movie what they named it. It's business. She's saying, I'm this person, but this is business. She came, she was vulnerable, she cried. A lot of people watched it. A lot of people supported what she came out to do, and of course, rained abuses on the other party. That's one celebrity coming out to say, but have you seen Iniedo come out to say, this is why I decided on surrogacy to have a child? Has she come out to say that?
No.
Has Iniedo come out to say, this is why I've chosen not to marry?
Because those are private business.
As a celebrity, that's the line that you must draw. Your life must be private. People need to understand that your personal life is your personal life.
Right.
And your popular persona is your popular persona. It's your job. Actually, your celebrity lifestyle is your job. It's not your person.
So that's not you.
That's not you.
Okay.
You need to draw the line. You need to know. And you need to let your fans also know that this is where you draw the line. Toyin Ayemaku does that. Whenever you talk about our child, she said, no, don't go there. Every other thing I put out there. But when it comes to my home, when it comes to my family, my children, I don't do that. She draws the line. People need to learn that that is private. You are not entitled to anybody's personal information. Let's stop feeling entitled that because they are popular, they're out there. And the celebrities also need to draw the line. But see, if you put it out, then
You feed on it.
they feed on it. And please do not complain because you gave it to them. The fact that you gave it to them is an indication that you want them to discuss it. You want to make money from it, they will feast on it. If you put your personal life out there, expect people to feast on you. Not just the news, you. Because people naturally like to dig for bad out of every good. So whatever you give them good, they will turn it to bad for you. It happened to one of the celebrities a couple of days ago. Simply because you did something that you felt was the right timing to do it. But because it coincided with something else that people were dealing with, people came for you. You could have kept that information to yourself. But you chose to put it out there because you chose to live your life on the pages of social media. And as long as all of your accounts continue to tell us about your lifestyle, about your personal information, when they feast on you, please don't come back to us. Don't come back to us. We don't want to know. We are not going to pity you because you gave yourself to the vultures. So you can't go to the vulture, putting yourself in their hands, practically say, take me. And then they now come for you, eating your head and feasting on your brain. And then you're crying. Please don't. So celebrities also need to learn to draw the line. Your personal life, keep it private. Your professional life is what is out there. Keep that public. Whenever the line is crossed, come out. Do you need to respond? Yes, sometimes, if you have not given them the information. But you see that idea of always coming to clarify. Things happen in our separate lives. Have we ever come to the office to sit other people down and say, let me clarify?
Ring light.
Well, you people will set ring lights and you say you want to clarify. See, there are certain interviews that I don't take. Why? I keep asking myself the question, if it gets to this part of my life, am I willing to answer those questions? Those questions are critical, and I don't really want to answer the question. So because I don't want to answer, once you tell me the topic, I say, sorry, please, it's going to be very sensitive for me. There was a particular interview I was supposed to take one. In fact, it was a conversation on a show that I was co-hosting. And the moment the producer sent it out, I told her, I said, this is peculiar to two other people on this set that you and I know. I won't be there for that conversation. You guys should go ahead and hold the show. I'll join you next week. And I didn't go. Simply because it will get personal. And when it gets, see, when you talk about anything that is personal, people unwillingly sometimes reveal certain parts of themselves that they were not willing to reveal in the first place. But because they were not sensitive enough to know that the conversation would get there, when it now got there, they didn't have a choice. They felt
They were boxed
cornered.
in the corner.
Or sometimes it just spills because you're passionate about what you're talking about. So you just spill it. When you spill it, you can't take it back. People feast on it. So be sensitive if you're a celebrity. And if you need to cry, cry in private. especially if it's about your private life, please cry in private. But if it is about your public life and you need pity, because again, it's business. It's about your public life. Come to the public, cry, weep. Weep. Stage it. Whatever. We will see, we will eat it raw. We will chop, 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 give other people to eat as well. Private, please keep your pain to yourself. The same thing your celebrities are doing now, especially those ones in our business. And that one is not my offense. It's not my business anyway. But you want to be popular. People are now using social media to revive dead careers. Just simply because you want to get numbers. You want people to now see you, or you want people to see you again.
That's the next question that I wanted to ask.
Please go there so that I can see what I want to see.
Controversial personalities, because again, as you just said, some people are using social media now to revive dead careers, because that is what is looking like it's the new thing now. People want to be controversial because they want to remain relevant. Please carry on.
You did. This one, you're going to take full responsibility. Okay, so this is it. Your career is dying. There are better ways to go about it. Let's assume that a bank, one of the popular bankers, I don't want to mention them before they come and sue you. But let's say one of the popular bank owners, the bank is in dire straits or in trouble. What would you do? Come to social media to talk about it? It will go back to the drawing board, call its shareholders, do a brainstorming, call its friends, say, what can I do? How can we rescue this? How do we do this? And then they find a way to resuscitate that project. That's what businessmen do. That's how I see my career. My career is business, which I say is business, right? So when something is going wrong, I go back to the drawing board. I go back to my inner circle and I say, guys, I'm experiencing this. I pray about it. I put it before God. And then I begin to plan and re-strategize. Which one is going on social media to go and discuss it? And then you people attribute it to something that did somebody and they happened to somebody. So because of the pity party that would likely come and the emotional bashing, a lot of people will now have to go back to that person's page, you know,
start digging.
And start digging and digging and digging and digging. And by the time they're done digging, you see, the more they dig, the more views it gets, the more views she gets, and then the more follows she gets. So by the end of the whole drama, you have enough followers to go negotiate with some brand. And then somebody will now come to me and say, so person is now our brand ambassador. Please, how many companies are you representing? Do you get it? So again, if our society continues to validate, continues to add value, monetary value to people with questionable careers and character and trends, people who create buzz around negative news, how are we supposed to grow as a people?
Right.
If the brands continue to give them money, once one brand stops it, they will stop it as well. But you see the popular brands, the big brands, putting money into these things. They're the ones who give them humongous amounts of money. So I keep asking the question, are they just 5 in the popular space, such that all of the ambassadorial opportunities keeps going round these people? Do you know how many people are genuinely making a living, impacting generations, laying foundation for a lot of younger people, building lives, and they don't have one single recognition? There's so many people out there doing so well, but nobody gives them the mind to even say, how are you doing it? What are you doing? They write letters upon letters upon letters for support, for people, for younger people. They don't get it. So somebody will come on social media now, validate his own career with one crime story, finish it up. Next thing you will see, they will say they've revived one thing. One person will now say, okay, we're giving you a car. You become our brand ambassador. Then the next one will come and say, we're giving you this house. You become our brand. Before you know what is happening, they reward them for bad behavior.
Right.
So why do you intend? They would never, this thing that we're talking about, it will never stop. Unless, and because the advertisers, again, are not just vain, they're very flippant about our values. Our societal decay is not important to them. Life's draining is not important to them. Younger people not finding any reason to even become something other than social media celebrities is not important to them. It's important to them to just get the numbers and get the money.
Right.
Gone are the days when brands actually want to build. These days, they just want to make the money. And which also tells you, because those things were decided by people like you and I at the end of affairs.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about celebrities. We've talked about sometimes the fans are also not any better. But can we also quickly talk about the entitlement mentality of fans? Because again, the fans feel, oh, because you are in our faces, we deserve to know everything that happens about you. And so do not even expect that, yes, you have a right to your own private life. They believe that your private life, once you are in their faces, it's, yes, we own it together. So you have to tell us everything that is happening.
Online in-laws.
Yes, the very online
The
in-laws.
The online family members.
So, I mean, so the fans, let's talk to the fans themselves this morning. Because sometimes what you do not know, maybe you're acting because you do not know. So for the fans themselves, must you be entitled over another person's life, either as a celeb or as an individual? And how, you know, when you hear people say things to you like, oh, this is how far I'm willing to tell you. This is how far I can go to tell you about what you need to know. But yet they get angry and say, that's not what we want to know. We want to know this.
The nitty-gritty.
Yeah, so fans themselves or the public, what kind of mentality should they have? And how soon do we need to get out from our high horse on this mentality issue? Like, we need to know, we must know.
If you put it out, they must know. If you shut them out, they will leave you alone. So the
So it
bulk,
will still have to be a personal decision.
because people are jobless. No, sincerely, people are actually jobless. But not because they've chosen not to work, not because it's fun for them to work. Sometimes it's simply because they're jobless. Other people's business is good business. It makes sense to just sit somewhere and just be talking about other people. It makes them forget their own personal inadequacies and issues. So somebody will buy data simply because she wants to troll another person. She has no business on social media other than, I want to read the comment section.
Association of Comment Section Readers.
Do you understand?
I'll come back for the comments.
Do you understand? You say, let's go to the comments. Some people do, they honestly, that's all they live for. That's entertainment to them. Whereas some people just go to social media just to have fun and all of that. And, you know, because they just go there to have fun, they just walk past social media and it's just what it is. And they go away. But some people live practically on social media. They know what broke yesterday, how it broke, who posted first, who reposted, who shared, who said what. That's all they live for. And then they tell me that they are poor. And then they tell you that they want urgent 2K. But you could use your own money
to buy data.
to buy data, and you expect me to feed you. How now? Use your urgent 2K, that data money. Use it to buy food now. In fact, use it to buy beans, buy leaf, buy pepper, grind it,
And make
moi moi, and take it to the bus stop to sell, and make money from it. No, because, see, unless we get to a point where people begin to take responsibility for their own lives,
Right.
laziness will continue to be one of the values, no longer a problem. So people are mentally lazy, they're physically lazy. The only thing that provides entertainment to them is other people's lives. So they feel entitled to it now. They sit down, they feel, what's the name of your baby? Why didn't you this? Imagine somebody coming to me to ask me, why didn't you post your child's birthday on social media? And I'm asking you the question, is it your child? Why should I post?
Is it your birthday?
Is it your birthday? Is the boy complaining?
I don't know.
Are they complaining? It's none of your business, but you feel entitled to that information. Same thing we do in churches. It's not just about
Social media.
social media. This apropos business, we must know. Same thing you do in churches. So person wore one cloth to church. You people turn it into a topic. If the person has 5 or has to, is it your business?
Well, if the
Can you just
person's
live
wearing
your
what
own
they
life?
have.
Which is why I like churches that are very large and people don't
Know
mind.
themselves.
Just greet everybody, you know, and go. Because people like to make other people's business their
Yeah,
businesses.
yes.
And that's the reason why a lot of people are poor. It's sincerely not, because if the society is not good and you take that time that you used to follow other people. You take that time, you use it to plan your own life and to follow yourself. No, follow your life. Go back into yourself. The way you do aproko
Then things will
yourself.
get better for
The
you.
things will not just get better. Your life will turn around.
Let's talk about these bloggers, because we can't have this conversation and not talk about how much havoc
money.
are these people causing.
They are the biggest havoc causers in the. If you can go association of havoc monglers, whatever, look for a name and give them. Unless social media is regulated, and bloggers are fined for every bad story. Is this somebody now, a 19 or 18-year-old boy, going on social media to troll Tony Elumelu, and then suing him? The sister came out. I saw it briefly yesterday, I think, because my people were looking for a story, and they saw it, and the sister said she was giving excuses. Hey, he's just a young boy.
That's at 19.
He's just a young boy. He's just trying to do this. He's just trying to do that. Bloggers are the problem. And then don't forget that there's the accusation that the celebs also pay the bloggers to blog
do
other
certain
people.
things, right.
So that they can get at this person who is not their friend or who is not on their side. But if you regulate, that's business. Because it's a business.
Even if you don't regulate, if you start punishing those who
So
peddle,
when people talk bad about you, punish them for it.
Right.
When they apologize, tell them to go apologize in court. They should make it public. When somebody says something about you that you don't like, that was wrong, tell the person to make the apology public.
right.
Write a public apology. Send it to me as a letter. I want to have it.
There's a copy.
There's
It's
a copy.
documented.
It's documented. So every time people see it, people would know, that you actually apologized
Right.
for it. Punish people, report them, go to the police, tell the police. If they say talk about money, go to EFCC. You have ICPC, you have everybody there just to do this job that we don't want done. Nigerians don't like punitive measures.
Right.
Nigerians like everything.
Being
Maybe she
patted
has
on the
said
back.
sorry now.
So
Just
I
accept
accept
the
the
sorry
sorry.
like that.
Okay.
No, I won't. Talk bad about me, you go to court.
Okay.
All right. At least there's also a cyber
The Cyber Crime Act
and
of
a
2015.
lot of people are also using that now and also ensuring that they get justice via that means. Thank you so much, Tomisin Adebukola, social affairs
It
commentator,
is my
for adding
pleasure.
your voice to this topic.
But you are a
this
celeb
morning.
too, Sha.
We're all celebs.
And this your celeb business, you are not doing well. Yeah. Just tomorrow, I know you're always covered. Tomorrow, open your scarf, put it on social media.
Very
You
well.
will trend there.
I will train for all the